Dealing with challenging individuals is a key skill for any effective leader. Whether you're working within your club, managing volunteers, collaborating with sponsors and vendors, or simply engaging with the public, navigating difficult interactions is a part of our everyday experience. In a club setting, this challenge is inevitable, but don't worry, we're here to help. In this session, we'll explore proven strategies to help you lead difficult members, manage tough relationships, and foster positive communication. We hope that you'll leave feeling equipped with actionable tools to not only handle challenging situations with confidence, but also support your fellow members in creating more harmonious and productive interactions within your team and club. As we all know, issues don't always arise when we expect them. However, there are often warning signs that can help us recognize when a situation has the potential to escalate into a crisis if left unaddressed. We can predict normal responses based upon past behaviors or from others who have communicated with that person. Be ready going into the conversation and use inclusive language like "we cannot" versus "you cannot." Recognize and reward the individual's positive traits and accomplishments before jumping into a difficult decision. Balance the good with the not so good. Consider this scenario. Your club president wants your committee to take on an activity that you don't support. In fact, you believe it's a waste of resources and is in conflict with the club's mission. As the committee leader, how would you address this with your president? Having difficult conversations is sure to stir up a lot of emotions, many of them upsetting. As a leader, it's imperative that you remain poised and in control when others might be losing it. When you find yourself in that situation, stop and take a breath. Don't take a breath that looks like a huff either. Counting to 10 may mean you need to acknowledge your own emotions. You can suggest that you each step away and come back to it when everyone's willing to be a good listener. Don't confuse any bias of the person with the behavior of that person. You need to be able to separate what was said or done from the person you're dealing with. Understanding the type of person you're working with is crucial for navigating challenging conversations effectively. By recognizing their personality traits and communication style, you can better determine the ideal setting for your discussions, whether it's one-on-one, a group meeting, or a more informal environment. This insight also helps you anticipate the behaviors and reactions you might encounter, allowing you to prepare accordingly. If they don't acknowledge you when you attempt to have a conversation, you'll need to be willing to call them out on that behavior or have someone they tend to be more friendly with help you into the conversation. For instance, maybe they refuse to actually acknowledge what you're saying. They talk around the issue or ignore it altogether. They could be the type to consistently try to outdo whatever you're doing. Maybe they're the type to talk to others with their stories long before they come to you to clarify what the issue is. Then we have our curmudgeons. They often enjoy reminiscing with the glory days when things were done a certain way, rather than embracing the new approach you're proposing. So how do we deal with these individuals? Emotional first aid. This is our ability to manage emotions when they might feel a little out of control. Your job's not to try to change them, which isn't to say you shouldn't consider why you're leaning another direction from them. Find their value language, their why. For example, is the issue about them needing more information, a money issue, or too much of a time commitment? You also need to know what your limit is on how others treat you so this doesn't become a toxic situation. Boundaries are our friend. Now consider this. You've been the chair of a project from its beginning. Sam, just new to your club and much younger, is assigned to your committee, and based upon their comments, they view as being out of touch. They are completely wired to the internet, know all the latest viral marketing, and have ideas you're not sure you even understand. What kind of conversation will you have with them so that you can start building trust rather than frustration? Of course, we can't always head off issues. Sometimes relationships become damaged. It doesn't mean that all hope is lost, though. Whether it's with our club, at work, or at home, many relationships can be repaired with some work. For that, you can hug it out. I don't actually mean hug, though sometimes that helps too. H is for hear. A good listener will be able to repeat, in their own language, the meaning of what was said to them. This helps us find common ground. U is for uncommon. Change your own tone and behavior. Letting them know you care doesn't mean that you agree with them, but it does mean that you listen with respect. And G is for guide. Demonstrate or explain to them how they should treat you. This might also require letting them know what is not acceptable. Again, boundaries are our friends. So how else can we keep our cool and prevent others from losing theirs? Bring the conversations to one-on-one. Take it out of the group rather than just get everyone else needlessly involved. Find out the true cause of the concern. Why are they really upset? Ask questions that do not relate to the person, but rather to the project. Realize when you need to step away and regain your balance. Let's imagine that you're a relatively new member trying to build trust with the more senior members. One of them has been particularly impatient with you and doesn't seem to respect your competence. You ask to meet with them. What are a few tactics or techniques you could use to approach the situation and individual? At the end of the day, we often have to face conflict and disagreement head on. Navigate these situations effectively by asking thoughtful, well-timed questions. The person who asks the right questions often maintains control of the conversation, so it's important to develop that skill. And remember, when addressing issues, always focus on the behaviors, not the person. This helps keep the conversation constructive and avoids escalating tensions. In conclusion, navigating difficult relationships and enhancing club dynamics requires patience, understanding, and a proactive approach. By recognizing key behaviors, asking the right questions, and focusing on solutions rather than problems, you can turn challenges into opportunities for growth and unity within your club. Remember, effective leadership is not about avoiding conflict, but about handling it with skill and respect. With the tools and strategies you've gained today, you're better equipped to foster stronger, more cohesive teams and create a positive, collaborative environment for everyone involved. We would like to give a special thanks to Sertoma National Life member Vicki Highstreet for her leadership in developing this session. To learn more on this and other topics, please check out the sites we've linked on the screen.